Welcome back to the Hire the Right Virtual Assistant podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Smith, the PVA and author of Hire the Right Virtual Assistant. So if you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, leave a review, share an episode with someone who might not know that they don't have to do it all. And today's episode is, if you wouldn't do it for 10 years, don't do it for 10 hours. And this really centers on a powerful idea that I recently came across in an article by Cameron Scott titled "A Practical Path to Financial Freedom by 2030. One line in particular stood out to me because it perfectly captures something entrepreneurs struggle with every day. And the idea is simple. If you wouldn't do something for 10 years, don't do it for 10 hours. And for some, that statement might seem extreme. After all, in entrepreneurship and business ownership, it often requires us to roll up our sleeves and do things that aren't glamorous. In the beginning, most of us do everything ourselves. But Cameron Scott's point is about something deeper than hard work. It's about sustainability and the kind of life you are building while you pursue success. Many entrepreneurs are so focused on short-term progress that they don't stop to consider what their daily work will look like long-term. They say yes to tasks, responsibility, and routines without asking the most important question. If this became part of my life for the next decade, would I actually want that? And that question can change everything. And I want to pause on routines for a moment. Think about your routine. Really think hard. If I were to ask you what your morning routine was like, you might give me a summary and leave out all the details. But the devil is in the details. As someone who loves her routines, I don't say this lightly or judgmentally. I say it as a fact. The smallest of changes to your environment impacts your routine. Suddenly, it can feel like your entire day is off. You might even say you don't feel like yourself. Yet, no matter what, you might spend all day getting back into your routine. And think about this. The routine you have of doing your own administrative work, answering your own emails, following up with everyone, including the really important clients, feels like work you own simply because it's part of your routine. And how hard is that routine to break? Of course it's hard. It's hard because it's become a routine, which means it's a true habit. And what is the habit? A habit is a thing you do without giving it any energy. You do it on autopilot and you might not even realize you're doing it. Which also means you don't know how to stop it because you can't recognize it when it's happening. And that is a scary place to be, especially as a business owner. This is the place where you know you need to hire the right virtual assistant, but because you're working from routine and not a place of pain and tasks that drain the life out of you, suddenly this becomes a hard thing to do. It really takes more effort and energy to have a VA do it. Back to Scott's article. Scott talks about the idea of getting rich slowly and building wealth in a way that supports your life rather than consuming it. Because financial success alone isn't the full picture. What good is being financially rich if you're time poor? What good is being a successful company if you don't enjoy the day-to-day experience of running the company? Entrepreneurship, when done well, offers something incredibly valuable. It offers freedom. It gives you the ability to structure your life differently than most people. You can work from anywhere. You can design your schedule. You can choose the projects that matter most to you. You can create a life with more independence, with more autonomy than a traditional job. You can do all those things. All those things are a possibility. but they are not a given. They don't come automatically. But that sense of freedom is one of the greatest rewards of entrepreneurship. For me personally, I've experienced it. I have traveled the world while working. And I'll let you in on a little fun fact. In this season of my life, I'm actually becoming a full-time RVer. I still get to spend the time I want with my family, do the work that I love, and run my business, earn a great living. That's what it's all about. Freedom isn't an accident, nor does it happen automatically. It requires intentional choices about how you spend your time. This is where the 10-year idea becomes incredibly useful. Now, I've been in business for over 10 years now, and I can tell you it goes by so quickly, so quickly. Early on in my business, while I was traveling the world in 2017, I got asked all the time, how do you get it all done? Where do you find the time? It's amazing how much you can do. And I had written one book already, hosted a virtual summit. I was writing my second book. And here I was in the middle of traveling the world. A lot of people weren't remote back then, so it even seemed more mystical, if you will. But I was literally moving my life and my business every single month. But my answer to others was always the same. I don't do it all myself. I couldn't possibly. I drink my own juice. I hire a VA for everything possible. Even if the person is a company and is not a VA, I hire it out. Anything that I can take off my plate, I do it. And it wasn't because I knew the wisdom of Cameron Scott early on. Fortunately for me, I actually suck at so many things. I'm just not good at them. I don't enjoy learning about new technology and how to use it, and I don't enjoy watching YouTube videos. None of that adds value to my work, and it doesn't add value to my clients. It turns out that those things actually work to my advantage. I paid for other work to get done by anyone other than me, even when I couldn't afford it. I trusted myself to go out and get more work. I knew if I was watching YouTube videos and Googling how to do something, that just was not valuable at all. I knew that someone else already knew how to do what I wanted to do and wanted to get done. And for me, it wasn't creating value, it was wasting my time. And for all the many things I got wrong in business, this one I got right. And I have more than a decade of proof to back it up. And I tell you this because you are doing too much if you are doing things right now for 10 hours that you wouldn't want to do for 10 years. It goes by quickly. Imagine looking at the technical and administrative tasks you do every week in your business and asking yourself a simple question. Would I want to keep doing this every week for the next 10 years? For most business owners and entrepreneurs, the answer is immediate. No. No, this is not why you started your business. This is not the passion project you had in mind. This is the thing that you were just supposed to be doing until you had more clients, until you got busier, until things picked up. These parts of the business, not strategy, not vision, not creative work, not building relationships, not solving interesting problems. Those are all the things that you love doing, the activities that actually energize you and make work feel meaningful. All these other things that you're doing and Googling and researching and putting off and procrastinating, they're just sucking the life out of you. They're draining the energy from you. They're making you feel exhausted at the end of the day. It's not the work that you were meant to do. Managing inbox, scheduling meetings, rescheduling meetings, formatting documents, updating spreadsheets, chasing down details, coordinating logistics, following up Oh my goodness, the full-time job of following up with people. All these things have to get done. They are necessary parts of running a business. They just don't have to be done by you. And if you're spending 10 hours a week doing them now, imagine next year saying the same thing. And what if 10 years from now, you're still doing it? How much time would you have wasted? How much compounded time and how much compounded money would you have lost that could have been doing client work? You don't want to be in this role unless you want to be a full-time assistant. And I have nothing against assistants. I am one. This is the work that I do. I've done this work for 30 years. For me to do it 10 hours a week is nothing because I did plan to do it for 10 plus years. I've been doing it for 30 and I plan to do it for 30 more. The most ironic part about this way of running a business is that you don't want to spend the money for a VA to do the work in the fraction of time and the fraction of the cost that you charge your clients. But instead, you reduce yourself to being your own VA while simultaneously being the most expensive VA. You really have to think about it. Really weigh the cost of time, attention, value, energy drain, productivity, and then compound those year over year for 10 years. Entrepreneurs often do these tasks simply because they can. But the real question is never whether you can do something. The real question is whether you should still be doing it a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. If you plan to be in business for 50 years, are you going to do this for 50 years? This is where hiring the right virtual assistant becomes so powerful. You don't need to start with more than you need, but you do need to start so that it doesn't become more than you ever imagined it would be. And hiring the right VA isn't just about getting assistance for the moment. It's about removing certain responsibilities from your future permanently. Every task that you no longer do, every task that you delegate is one less task that follows you for the next decade. Think about that. For some of you listening, if you thought that you were going to have to do this work for the next decade, you might want to quit right now. That would be enough to say, I'm out. I don't want to do that anymore. But when you hire the right virtual assistant, things like inbox management and scheduling and research and coordination and administrative work can move into someone else's zone of genius. The very work that feels so draining and repetitive for you is the work that someone actually loves to show up for every single day. It's the most satisfying. It gives them energy. Their strengths are aligned with it. They love the organization. They love efficiency. They love the support. They even love paperwork. I know it seems crazy, but yes, there's someone out there who actually loves the paperwork, loves the organizing, loves getting filing done on time, loves the payroll, loves the operations. Absolutely. And when you shift and that change starts happening, it is a completely different experience of running a business. And it allows you to stay focused on the areas where you can create the most value, the most energy. Instead of constantly reacting to tasks, you have space to think, create, grow. You can enjoy the business. You have not made yourself the highest paid employee in the company. You are treating yourself like a business owner and taking the benefits that a business owner can take. The deeper lesson behind Cameron Scott's idea is that entrepreneurship should ultimately expand your life, not shrink it. The goal simply isn't to make more money. The goal is to build a path to wealth that supports the lifestyle you want to live. And if you would say, I am not living the lifestyle that I want, even though I own my own business, then something has to change. When you start filtering your work through that lens, your decisions become clearer. If you wouldn't want a task to define your weekly routine for the next 10 years, it is worth asking whether it belongs on your plate at all. You don't get time back. You can always make more money, but you won't ever get time back. It goes by quickly. And the life you want is built through thousands of small decisions about where your time goes. Sometimes the most powerful shift you can make is simply recognizing that you don't have to do it all. You don't have to carry all the weight yourself. There is a VA who can help you with capacity. If this is you, I just want to, thank you for listening, and I support you in hiring the right virtual assistant. If this podcast resonated with you, like, subscribe, or leave a review. I would love to hear from you. But also check out the resources I have to assist you. There's a self-assessment VA pod class for you. There is the interactive hiring workbook. You have my book, Hire the Right Virtual Assistant. All resources I created for you to hire the right VA. Now, if you would say, Melissa, I do not have the time to get it right. I can't afford to get it wrong. I just can't, please help me. I'm here for you. Book a complimentary consultation. You'll find the link in the show notes. And together we'll figure out where that 10 hours can be better spent by hiring a VA. And you won't have to do another 10 hours of work that you don't enjoy. And you certainly won't be doing it for another 10 years. All right. Bye, everybody. See you next time.